This time last year, life was so different for me. I didn't have a car. I didn't have a home to call my own. I wasn't making money for real. Like I lost everything. Like I didn't have nothing. I lost everything. I lost people. I lost a lot. I was in a place, in a space where I was like in full surrender mode. Like I really gave it all to God because I didn't have any other choice. I feel like he kind of orchestrated it that way. Like I wasn't doing it on my own, so he stepped in and he was like, girl, surrender to me. And that's what happened. That's what happened. I lost everything. And let me tell you, God is a God of restoration. He will restore back to you the things that you lost and then some, and then make it better. Like it was a really rough experience, and I kind of want to like talk about the experience that I had when I was down to nothing and I had to live at other people's houses. So one thing about having to stay with someone else is you're already uncomfortable. You already don't feel like, you know, you want to be in somebody else's space. You already feel off about even having to ask to even be in this type of space. Or even if it wasn't asked, having an offer, but you already feel off from even being in this type of situation. So you're going through your own mental battles. Or let me say it from my perspective. So I'm going through my own mental battles. I'm dealing with my own self and still having to also deal with how other people feel about me being in their space. Now, it's one thing, I can only speak from my experience. I feel like from my experience, it wasn't the greatest. It wasn't like, oh yeah, you can come stay here until you get it figured out. We love you. Anything to help you, anything to support. It wasn't really that type of, it wasn't those type of vibes going on. So they were doing it, but they were doing it, I won't say that it wasn't out of love, but I will say that I didn't feel the love. And I'm not coming at this from a space of not being grateful, because I am so grateful, because they could have just had me out on the streets, honey, or had me to figure it out on my own. So I am very grateful, but I do want to be transparent about my experience. So it was just a lot of back and forth, like a lot of me being at this house for a couple of months and then having to go to this house for a couple of months to not overstay my welcome. Because you can kind of tell when people are like irritated with you. Like you can tell, like even if they say nothing's wrong, you're not, like, you know, you can still tell that something is actually in fact wrong. And because they won't communicate about what it is, you kind of feel off. Or no one was communicating with me about what the real problem was. So, you know, it wasn't a conversation that we could have to kind of better the situation. It was just very weird, very uncomfortable, extremely uncomfortable. And I used to beg and pray for God to help me get out of this situation. And I said, God, you know, if you bring me out of this, like, I promise to tell people what you did for me. Like, I promise I won't be quiet about it. I will talk about how you came and got me and you saved me and you freed me from this and you rescued me. Like, I will tell the people. And so this is my version of telling the people, like, God really did come back for me. And not only did he come and get me out of those situations to where I didn't have to live with anybody else, like, he upgraded my life. Like, my life has been upgraded. He has provided for me the entire time. Like, so some days I'll be in this apartment, and it's been about 6-7 months since I've been in that situation. Like, I'm still here on the other side. I'm so thankful and grateful for that. And it's days, y'all, where I just sit in my apartment and I just look around and I am just so grateful. It's days where I just break down and I just start boohoo crying, because it's like, wow, I am really here. I really made it out to the other side. Making it out to the other side is so possible. It can happen for you. God can do that for you. Give it to him. And I'm grateful because, okay, so I had to stay with other people, and a couple of the places that I stayed with, either one, it was just so uncomfortable to be there that I would just be gone all day until it's time to go to sleep at night. Or with the other, I couldn't stay. I had to come back when it was nighttime. Like, I couldn't stay during the day. So I had nowhere else to go. So I would have to sit in the car and I would have to like go places, go to Panera Bread or Starbucks or the gym or a vacant parking lot and just sit and read my Bible, or I would sit and I would work on the laptop, like working with my business or whatever. Y'all. And I had to work from a storage unit. Like, so I would work from home. I make products. I make epoxy at the time, and still I make epoxy resin signs for realtors and other small businesses to market with their business. So I had to work out of a storage unit because I lost it out. We lost the house. I used to work from home. We didn't have that. So everything had to get figured out. So we pivoted and we got a storage unit with a generator to work out of in the freezing cold. I'm talking brick. I'm talking you can see the smoke coming, not smoke, but whatever it is when you're talking and it's freezing outside. In the rain, in the summertime, blazing hot, sweat dripping, like we went through it. Oh my God, we went through it. Just the things that we had to deal with, the level of uncomfortability. And I'm really holding out because there's a lot of things that I could go into detail about, but I don't really want to speak out about it yet because I didn't go through it on my own. And I don't want to share someone else's story prematurely. But when I tell you God is good, I just cannot be quiet about what he did for me because he did not have to do that. And he did, and I really couldn't see the way out. Like at the time, I couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel, but I kept my faith because I knew God was too good to leave me in that. Like I knew he was too good I knew that couldn't have been the end of my life. And so yeah. So yeah, I be walking around my apartment. I be so happy because it's just me. It's just my energy. I don't have to worry about anybody else's. It's just me. I know I want me here, so I'm comfortable and I'm safe in my place. I have a car, a nice one too. I have a nice apartment and a nice car. Like he didn't just give me a car or a apartment or a place to stay. He gave me nice things. Like, and I'm just so grateful. And I'm just in awe sometimes, and I just gotta talk about it sometimes, you know. So God is good, and I just want y'all to know that, like, because I know that I wasn't the only one going through that when I was going through it, and I know that there is somebody out there right now that is going through that and cannot see the light at the end of the tunnel. And baby, I'm here to let you know that there's a light. He will not leave you in that. Like, just keep pressing. Keep trusting, keep believing, keep having faith. Like, keep reading your word. Let me tell you the power about reading your word. You get to see the stories. You get to see the faith stories. I was reading Matthew and Mark for the last couple of days or the last couple of weeks. And I was reading the faith stories. I was reading about how the lady went and just touched the hem of his garment because she just believed that her faith level was so strong. She just knew that if I just get close to this man, he's going to do it for me. Like, nothing else worked, but this will. And it's just like, just reading about how God healed people. How Jesus healed them based off of their faith. So just keep up with your faith. Like, just keep having faith. Keep believing that Jesus can do it because he'll do it off of your faith alone. It's just